One of my friends had a job in the hospital looking after patients, making beds and stuff like that. I heard he randomly quit his job, wouldn't talk to anyone about it. One time I decided to bring some beers over to his house and try to see if I could get him to talk. He was a total emotional wreck. When I finally got him to talk, he said that one night when he was working in the hospital, a nurse started shouting for help because someone is going into cardiac arrest. So he started running down the hallway, and some man runs towards him. They almost bump into each other, and the man shouts,
"Where's the exit?"
My friend points to the exit, then runs into the room. The man going into cardiac arrest was the same person he just ran into in the hallway. He died in front of his eyes.
Number 2.
This one is from a teacher of mine. Great guy, but he swears on his pride that this one is true. It was during his college days. He was living in an apartment with 3 other guys. They had been living there for a couple of weeks when weird stuff started to happen. It all started in one of the bedrooms. The bed was on a huge, wrought iron bed frame and was in front of a wall outlet. This was the outlet that the bedside lamp had to be plugged into. Every so often, the lamp cord would be unplugged and thrown out of the place. He thought it was just one of his friends being clever. Weird shit happened for the next couple of weeks, but it was an older apartment and neighbors will be neighbors and old buildings will have their quirks, so they wrote it off as nothing. One night, they had some friends come over, so one of them had to sleep on the futon in the living room. The friend was woken up in the middle of the night for no real reason, but when he opened his eyes, there was a thin blonde girl hunched on the ground next to him. Now, not much can make a 6'4", 250-pound tough guy panic, but this did. He started hollering and yelping for his friends to come out as he grabbed for every square inch of the sheets. His friends thought he was just messing with them, but his face said otherwise. They just hung out for the rest of the night till he calmed down. They eventually ordered pizza just because they were no longer tired. When the delivery guy got here, he was surprised.
Hey, this was my old place when I was in school.
My teacher chuckled.
Hey, did weird shit happen to you when you lived here?
The pizza guy went blank.
Oh fuck. You've seen her too?
They moved out the next day.
Number 3.
I grew up in a small town in South Georgia before moving to North Carolina. I was about 6 or 7 at the time. My mother is a firm believer in naps or just resting during the day, and had told me to go lay down. Mom had done laundry and my bed wasn't ready, so she directed me to go to her living room and got in the pull-out bed she made up for her grandmother who was visiting. Our living room was also the dining room. At the top of the room, there was a huge table with a swinging wood door that led to the kitchen. At the bottom of the room was a sitting area with the aforementioned couch bed, a couple of chairs, coffee table, and my piano. There was a set of beautiful French doors that led to the hallway. I always loved the light that came through the little panes of glass. I go into the room and lay down on my left side so I am facing the glass doors. It's late afternoon. Light is coming in through the windows and I can still see perfectly. I glance up at the doors and see a figure at the dining table. It's about 3 feet tall, totally black, human looking. I can see a head, torso, hands, legs, but no defining features. I quickly flip over and look directly at the table. There's nothing. I realize that I'm just seeing light tricks, so I slowly turn back on my left. To my horror, I see the figure again, but this time it's moved towards me. It's only a couple of feet from where I am laying. My heart leaps into my throat and I turn again to see nothing. I stare at the dining room side for several minutes trying to decide what to do. I finally get the courage to look in the glass again. The figure is next to the bed. I shoot straight up out of the bed and run out. I refuse to go back in that room. I actually quit playing piano, I was so afraid of the room. I was young at the time, but I vividly remember what I saw. I wasn't asleep or even sleepy, so I know I didn't make it up or dream it. There's plenty of light, so it wasn't my eyes making things out of the dark. I'm not sure that I will ever know what I saw, but I'm glad to be away from it.